Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, the Torrance Police Department is looking for dedicated citizens to join their force.
Plus, community members put on their best Halloween costumes to give back to a local organization.
Then a new brewery has its grand opening, offering more than just tasting for its customers.
And a new restaurant opens at the site of the former Buffalo Fire Department.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks so much for joining us. Here are your top stories. Thousands of people across California prepared for what could be the next big one. The annual Great California Shakeout happened on October 20th across the state and right here in Torrance. City employees, businesses, local colleges, and the Torrance Unified School District took part. It's a reminder to stay prepared in the event that a big earthquake happens. During this drill, people drop, take cover, and hold on. It's recommended to stay indoors until the shaking stops and then head to the safest exit. If you're outdoors when an earthquake happens, you should find a clear spot away from buildings, trees, street lights, and power lines. It's encouraged to have an emergency kit and a plan for your families. As of today, there are more than 10 million participants for the California Shakeout drill. For more information, go to shakeout.org.
This week's City Council meeting, which ran nearly 4 hours long, held many important discussions, including the workshop regarding Southern California Edison and the Torrance Refining Company.
I'd also like to apologize to you and all of the Torrance community, not only for the effects of the power outage last Tuesday, but the fact that this has now happened twice within a month. We recognize the impact this has on the community. It is not the way we intend to operate and does not live up to the commitments I've made to you in the past.
The most recent power outage left nearly 100,000 people without power and many residents upset about the flaring from the refinery. Authorities from PBF Energy talked about its 5 recent power outages and how they're working with Southern California Edison to improve the reliability of the electricity they receive from SCE. Now, most recently, a power outage caused the Torrance Refining Company to be without power for 20 minutes, which resulted in a flaring event. Southern California Edison has been providing power to the refinery since 1907. A spokesman from Edison says they understand the impact it has caused the refinery and the concerns of the community. The most recent outage was a result of a wiring error.
Let me also apologize on behalf of Southern California Edison to all of you, the first responders, the residents of Torrance, as well as our customers, for the impact that these outages have caused.
Southern California Edison says it is working on a multi-year project to improve reliability in the South Bay.
Torrance City Council members also approved moving forward with more staffing that would make emergency messaging more efficient. The Office of Cable and Community Relations, under the City Manager's Office, proposed hiring 3 full-time equivalent staff members who would work in shifts within the 24-hour day. They would manage public information during a major event. The interactive communication officers would be made up of 2 full-time and 2 part-time employees, with 1 current staff assistant position also reassigned. They will be working overlapping shifts in the telecommunications center. During an emergency, the ICOs would provide accurate safety information to the public from the incident commander, whether it be from police or fire. They would first distribute information to Torrance Alerts, the city's hotline, and then City Sounds AM 1620. The added staff members would work around the clock to make sure that during any emergency, they disseminate information rapidly and effectively. They will continue to update across all platforms until the event is concluded. When there is not an emergency, these positions will create content for the city's website, social media pages, serving as account managers for all departments for interactive communications, providing information on city street closures, and maintaining the disaster hotline. Currently, the Torrance Police Department is in charge of getting information out through Nexel, Torrance Alerts, and all social media. The Office of Cable and Community Relations already manages the city's external communications, including television, radio, social media, public information, and even press conferences. This was passed by a council vote with a 6-1 vote, with Councilman Mike Griffiths opposing the recommendation.
The mayor will soon be meeting with the Torrance community one-on-one. The city council also approved supporting Torrance town halls with the mayor. These meetings will be hosted across the city, providing the community an update on what's currently happening in the city. The town halls were first announced by the mayor at the recent State of the City address. The first meeting is scheduled to take place on October 27th at North High School's library. The mayor will travel to each region of the city. Mayor Fury plans to host 5 meetings in total.
A longtime Torrance resident was remembered at the recent city council meeting. Dr. Richard Allen Gibson Sr. passed away on October 10th. Gibson Sr. was an engineer, educator, and a prominent Torrance resident. After retiring from Honeywell, he then decided he wanted to become a teacher and was an adjunct professor of physics at Cal State Dominguez Hills. He enjoyed the opportunity to help others more than anything. Gibson Sr. will be remembered for his gentle spirit, his smile, and patience.
Elizabeth Holland was also remembered at the recent council meeting for her long dedication to the city of Torrance. Known as Betty Holland to many, she was a dedicated city volunteer along with her late husband, Dutch Holland, who spent endless hours helping out at Las Amigas of Torrance Memorial Medical Center and later the Torrance South Bay YMCA and Little League. They both worked at the Torrance Certified Farmers Market, volunteering on Tuesdays and Saturdays. For 25 years, they also volunteered as float decorators through the Torrance Rose Float Association. In 2008, the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce recognized Betty and Dutch with its Distinguished Citizen Award. Betty Holland passed away on October 10th. Well, still ahead, a well-known downtown restaurant celebrates another year of business. We'll take you there.
Plus, we'll tell you what's being built here on Van Ness Avenue in Torrance.
My favorite thing about music is it's reliable. It's always there.
It just helps me cheer up other people.
There's nothing to worry about when you do music. You're just having fun.
When I'm playing it, I'm like, wow, this is me. I sometimes just like shock myself.
When you play music, you are playing life.
The South Bay Workforce Investment Board celebrated its 21st Alumni Awards ceremony with a dinner reception at the Torrance Marriott. Jesse Pierre was there and has the story.
You'll see a lot of miracles. Maybe not miracles, but you'll see stories of very hard-working men and women.
The South Bay Workforce Investment Board is responsible for the training and job placement of countless job seekers. Honoree Sierra Washington is one of them, after using the career services offered at the Torrance One Stop Center to get right back on her feet.
So One Stop provided me with resume building skills. They provided me with interview skills, as well as how to conduct yourself with different types of jobs that they have to offer.
Washington landed a job at the South Bay Environmental Services Center as an administrative assistant, and she is one of their many success stories.
The WIB definitely provided me a wonderful service. I went on one interview and got hired the same day.
Since 1995, the South Bay Workforce Investment Board has been a bridge for local businesses and those in need of employment. And this reception is an opportunity to recognize many of them.
As we receive funds, it's an 11-city consortium, and what we do with those funds is get people trained, get them placed, help businesses, help participants, give them a helping hand.
L3 Communications Electron Technologies Incorporated, a Torrance-based company, is also a beneficiary of all that the South Bay's Workforce Investment Board has to offer.
You know, our company was about to leave this area, but with the assistance of the South Bay Workforce Investment Board and some of the programs they introduced us to and some of the discounts from utilities to CapEx, capital expenditure, tax credits to employment training development programs that reimburse us for a lot of that training, we were able to save multiple millions of dollars over the next couple of years.
Not only did L3 decide to stay in Torrance, they have added 200 more jobs in engineering and manufacturing within their company, providing even more jobs to people all over the South Bay. And this is what this celebration is all about.
We want the businesses to stay in the South Bay, and we're going to make it beneficial for them.
I'm so excited, I'm so humble and grateful, and it's just encouraging me to want to go ahead and keep being wonderful and keep trying and doing the best that I can.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jessie Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. The money will benefit the Inglewood and Hawthorne Teen Centers as well as the youth programs Fit for Gold and the Blueprint for Workplace Success.
Well, Halloween isn't just about the ghosts and goblins. Residents of Torrance are using the holiday to raise money for a great cause. Reporter Teresa Blunt was in downtown Torrance and has this story.
Just a couple people. Come on, move it on, move it on. Keep moving.
I said we should do a Halloween party for adults to raise money for children. And we started off with 47 people inside the depot. And we raised, I think, $5,000, and we were so happy that we made a profit. This year, we have 800 people here, and we're hoping to crack the $250,000, and we're on budget to do it.
Chef Michael Schaefer has hosted the Halloween Ball for nearly 2 decades, now benefiting the Pediatric Therapy Network, a nonprofit based in Torrance. Money raised through ticket sales and the live auction will help the organization make much needed improvements.
PTN is expanding, and they have different locations. They're having more staff so they can serve more people. All of this fundraising is very, very helpful. It is a very expensive operation to provide such intense treatment for the children.
The Pediatric Therapy Network serves 2,500 children a year who are affected by autism, learning disabilities, and sports-related injuries. They provide innovative therapy to help them live a better quality of life.
When Brandon first started here, he could barely lift his head. He had various needs, and so each therapist that worked with him really looked at him and looked at what we could do as a family, and the therapists, including the therapists, and they really looked at what his strengths were and really built upon that. So now he's able to communicate with everybody. He has a communication device that he uses, and he wants to be a member of society.
What they do for children and families, children with medical needs, special needs, it's just so heartwarming.
Not only do attendees help a great cause, but they get to compete in the Halloween costume contest. Those with the best costumes get to walk away with a trophy.
It's just fun. Who doesn't love Halloween? Who doesn't love children? Who doesn't love goofy costumes and dressing up? Chef Schaefer and the depot do an amazing job. The food and the drink and the dinner is amazing. The band is awesome. It's really one of the highlights of the South Bay every year is the PTN Halloween Ball.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Teresa Blunt.
Thanks, Teresa. Looks like a great event. The Halloween Ball raised $280,000, which will benefit the Pediatric Therapy Network.
A local professor took center stage for a one-of-a-kind lecture, giving some attendees a good scare. While it seemed like a musical, it was much more, as communication professor Jason Davidson gave a spirited lecture at El Camino College about communicating with the dead. Davidson discussed major events of the spiritualist movement during the last half of the 19th century and showed how these events have impacted our society today. During the lecture called Phantasms 3, Davidson shed light on the phenomenon that people living can make contact with the dead. Davidson also said that during the night, audience members may even feel physically touched by a ghostly entity. Along with the help of award-winning musicians David and Lehman, who are America's Got Talent finalists, the lecture was filled with jokes and magic demonstrations. The last Phantasms lecture drew nearly 1,300 people.
Torrance firefighters made a stop at the Del Amo Fashion Center to help people get educated about fire safety. It was one of many events they hosted for Fire Prevention Week. This meet and greet with first responders was an opportunity for families to learn about the importance of checking your smoke alarms, replacing them every 10 years, and where to look for the manufacturer's date. It's the final year the National Fire Protection Association will choose smoke alarm safety as their theme for Fire Prevention Week. It's an effort they've put forth for the last 3 years.
A crowd gathered in front of a well-known restaurant in downtown Torrance for a birthday celebration. 2, 3. Chef Michael Schaefer of the Depot, along with city leaders and the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, celebrated the Depot's 25th year in business. The restaurant, known as Modern Urban Grill, located in the restored historical Southern Pacific Railway, has evolved over time to a bustling location. The menu has a little bit for everyone, It offers everything from German, Middle American to Santa Fe and Taipei flavors in Schaefer's famous appetizer tasting board. Chef Schaefer also offers catering and cooking classes to his customers.
It's amazing to be able to be part of a community for 25 years and still be vibrant and still be having fun at my job.
Chef Schaefer hopes to continue to serve the community and plans to offer new food at his restaurant. The chef is known for his philanthropic efforts in Torrance.
A new restaurant is now open for business in downtown Torrance. Cafe Roma is offering a unique experience located at 1216 Cabrillo Avenue. The Mediterranean restaurant took the place of what used to be Buffalo Fire Department. Cafe Roma is owned by California Cuisine, Inc., and the partners have a diverse experience in the entertainment and restaurant industries. They offer fine wines and fresh Mediterranean food, and you won't want to miss out on their bakery or their baked goods or their live music nights.
We're trying to have some fun for our clients because, to be honest with you, in the last 8 months we've been working. We design everything in this restaurant. I had a feeling downtown Torrance needs some action, needs something going.
They plan to have a Halloween bash on Saturday, October 29th. For more information, you can go to CafeRomaCuisine.com.
You can add one more brewery to Torrance's bustling craft beer scene, but this one offers much more than just a taste. Zymergy Brew Works and Tasting Room is now officially open after 2 years in the making. The new craft beer location on Hawthorne Boulevard is teaching beer enthusiasts how to brew their own beer. Owner Bill Baker, who is a teacher in Torrance, says he wanted to add an education component to the beer scene in the South Bay. What is being called DIY brewing allows customers to pick their own recipe, brew their craft beer, and let it ferment on site in a temperature-controlled fermentation room for a couple of weeks. It will take customers 2 visits to walk away with their creation bottled for taste with a customized label.
We provide the educational part of teaching people the craft behind craft beer. Like what is it that goes into the beer that makes it a craft beer? There's a process. It's a pretty amazing process, and that we wanted to show people or teach people about that.
Zymergy means to study or practice fermentation and brewing, winemaking, or distilling. They will also host special events. The most recent one teams up with local brewmasters for Guest Brewer Night, where brewers will explain how one of their specialty craft beers is made. DIY brewing sessions are only by appointment. You can head to ZymergyBrewWorks.com to sign up, or you can also call them at 310-791-1015.
A group of bikers made a pit stop in Torrance for its great beer craft scene. It was the second bike tour of its kind, where a group of 15 friends made a visit to Torrance from Pershing Square in Los Angeles to visit Hop Saint, Cosmic, and Monkish Brewing. Michael McDonald, a bike enthusiast, came up with Bike Tour 2 years ago. The group wanted to visit the newer breweries in Torrance. They rode 15 miles to get to their first location right here in Torrance. McDonald says he's already looking forward to organizing the next bike ride.
Speaking of breweries, the framework of a new business is going up on Van Ness Avenue near Torrance Boulevard. If you've been wondering what is being built there, well, it will be home to the newest brewery coming to Torrance. Construction is underway, and the rough framing was approved recently for Yorkshire Brewery. The business specializes in cask-conditioned, hand-pulled ales. They hope to continue the brewing tradition practiced by generations. The majority of construction is set to finish within the next 4 weeks.
More exciting news from Del Amo Fashion Center. You won't have to go very far to get your fix of Korean food. Coming to the patio cafes is Bibigo Fresh Korean Kitchen. It offers a modern twist on the classic Korean dish bibimbap, which is traditionally served with vegetables and meat over a bed of rice. Bibigo allows customers to build each order specific to their liking, offering a variety of grill options to vegetarian. The Torrance location is the 4th in the chain to open in Southern California. They are set to open at the beginning of December.
A brand new basketball training facility is taking basketball to the next level. Having officially joined the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, Shoot 360 invited city officials and members of the chamber to a private event at their facility. Shoot 360 offers basketball enthusiasts various ways to improve their basketball skills, whether it's with group training, by themselves, or one-on-one with a trainer. It's all technology-based. There are various systems that help with shooting, ball handling, and performance.
A beautiful place, obviously, so it kind of jumps out at you as soon as you walk in the door. But when you get past that and you get into just the atmosphere with the staff and how they interact with kids and how they interact with their parents, it's really a family-friendly place.
They're really helpful. I work with Chase a lot, which I'm having a personal training right now, and they really help out and come around and make sure you're doing good and make sure you know what you're doing. And if you need help with a certain drill, then they'll teach you how to do it.
One of the latest technologies includes Shoot Away, that gives members an opportunity to shoot mass repetitions, receive various types of passes by a machine. Every shot is tracked by a system. There are also ball handling stations where digital coaches help guide players through a series of workouts.
It's just a great place. I mean, there's no place like this in the whole South Bay to play basketball, get analyzed, and increase the skills of the game.
This is the only location in the state of California. You can find Shoot 360 at 2076 Artesia Boulevard. They've recently extended their hours on Fridays. To sign up for a membership, you can walk in or go to shoot360.com.
The Torrance Police Department is looking for enthusiastic and dedicated people who are ready to serve the Torrance community. Reporter Hibba Sama tells us how this job may be the right one for you.
For Torrance Police Officer Erica Chance, it's another day on the job and another day living out her dream.
If it was going to be a police officer, it had to be with Torrance.
Born and raised in Torrance, Officer Chance says she always wanted to be part of the Torrance Police Department. And in 2005, she was hired to serve.
For me, it was an opportunity to give back to my community, feel like I'm making a difference, feel like it was rewarding.
Chance is one of several female officers in the department and says she's thankful to her family and fellow officers for their support.
I've been doing this for almost 11 years, and every day I wake up and I'm happy to come to work, which I don't know how many people can say that.
And the department is looking to bring on 20 more passionate and committed officers to the team who will be able to exercise their diverse talents in many ways.
We're looking for people who can think on their feet and be flexible. Because again, as technology advances, we want those individuals who are in tune with that and they can bring all that background and experience to this job.
Sergeant Ronald Harris says despite the extensive hiring process, it's well worth the effort.
These things are not designed to fail you. These things are designed to assess where you are and to make sure that you are a good fit for this career. Torrance is a great city to work for. We have some of the best support here in the city of Torrance.
A city where safety comes first for the community and officers.
We do promote officer safety, and part of officer safety is having two people in a car during nighttime hours. Unfortunately, some agencies are shorthanded and they don't have that luxury.
Torrance Police also has a mission of focus-based policing that gives everyone in the department a chance to improve their performance, encouraging officers to grow by moving into specialty departments like traffic, detective, communications, SWAT, and even canine.
I was able to see the dogs work. Canine, once I saw them work, that's kind of what got me hooked.
Canine Officer Stephen Ruiz joined 6 years ago and says there's no better place to work.
I love working for a city where the citizens fully support you. They understand the tumultuous times right now, and they have nothing but support.
Making the challenging times easier for the men and women in uniform who constantly strive to make the city a better place every day.
I feel like we hold ourselves to higher standards and our morals and values and integrity, and I think if you're going to go through Department, Torrance is definitely like #1 out there.
Stories of inspiration and passion tied to a common goal of preserving and protecting the quality of life here in Torrance.
Thanks, Heba. If you're interested in applying, you can contact the Torrance Police Department Recruitment Office at 310-618-2324. You can also go to torranceca.gov/TPD.
The Torrance Police Department wants to make sure children are also getting educated about coyotes. The police department announced it will be visiting each of the district's elementary schools throughout the next few months to help educate the students on coyote safety. To get more information about coyotes, you can visit police.torranceca.gov.
For Fire Prevention Week, locals learned how they can be better prepared for a fire emergency. This program focused on outdoor safety for adults and proper landscaping so people can evacuate their homes safely. The fire department provided tips on how to design your home for safety. Torrance firefighter Ellery Sanders talked about the importance of implementing a sprinkler system, avoiding having windows facing large areas of vegetation, and that if you're not building a new home, current homes may need an update. Sanders also reminded people to familiarize themselves with exits around their homes. Authorities also suggest to remove dead leaves, branches, and needles from your roof and gutters. And when it comes to your roof, make sure it's fire resistant. Residents were also urged to familiarize themselves with fire extinguishers and check their smoke alarm detectors. For more information, you can contact the Torrance Fire Prevention Department at 310-618-2973.
Well, still ahead, sports desk anchor Byron Newsom gives us the latest on what's happening in the Torrance sports world.
Take a good look at yourself. Oh, yeah. Check that smooth backside. No, really, check it. If you're a man over 50, you're in the group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma. When detected early, skin cancer is highly treatable. Check yourself out and find someone else to help. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are some upcoming events you won't want to miss. If you haven't already registered, the annual Bark for Life to Fight Canine Cancer will be held at Wilson Park on Sunday, October 23rd at 10 a.m. It will be a fun-filled day, starting with a walk with your best canine friend. To register, to go to relayforlife.org/BarkTorranceCA and make sure to say hi to canine host Rhiannon Tretanich. She's a lovely lady. She'll be there with Popeye. And then the Torrance Police Department is having a Seniors Don't Be Scammed class on current trends on Tuesday, October 25th at 10 a.m. until noon. It will take place at the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library. Then you still have time to sign up for the Business Emergency Response Training that educates the community about disaster preparedness for hazards that may impact their business and trains them in basic disaster skills. It will take place on Wednesday, October 26th from 8 a.m. until noon. The first session will take place at the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. You can go to torrancechamber.com to register. Well, before we go, we have a sneak peek at what's happening on the sports desk with Byron Newsom.
That's right, Byron. What's going on?
Hey, Jen and Ben, coming up on the sports desk, the Torrance Tartars are trying to ride the wave as they go for their second win in a row and try to beat the South Spartans in this long-running city rivalry. Plus, see if a local high school volleyball team can keep winning and winning and winning as they seek out their 9th straight league title. Tune into the sports desk at 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE. Jen and Ben, back to you.
Thank you, Byron. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Chun. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.